Hello ladies and gentlemen, Santa's Workshop here. Today, on today's video, we are going to start getting the top ready to come off of the 79 Caballero. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what we're going to be getting into. Going to be getting the measurements down, marking my measuring points. That way if the body does move on me, which I really don't think it will, we'll be able to get it back in straight. So I'm going to show you what we have to deal with this roof. As you'll see in just a moment, I got the dent straightened out, but we have a rust spot right here that I'm going to have to cut out and fill in. And all that's going to be hidden by trim, so it's not going to be seen, but it's going to be a weak point. So I've got to get that filled in. Got to figure out where I'm going to cut these off at to weld on. And what's fun is they have got a foam filler inside, so there's going to be a lot of smoke and mess when I do that one. We come over here, and a lot of people have been asking why don't I just cut the metal out around the windshield and replace it. Well, that's a lot of cutting and welding on a sheet of skin that's going to warp when you do it. But we've also got this little bingo right here. That is what is keeping me from, dealing with that, because this come all the way to the interior support. So that's why we're going to go ahead and replace the full roof and get that done. I'm very strongly considering cutting straight across here, because this is just surface rust here. There is no rust through down past here. And this side is the same way. So that would give us a good solid base to weld onto. You can see there's nothing on the inside there. That looks really good. So today's video is mainly going to be cleaning everything up, getting the measurements done, starting to get this cut and ready, and we'll see how far we get. So let's get to it. Here is the non-injured side, and here's what I just straightened out. Got really close. We're within 1/8 of an inch on our measurements, which is well within specs. I just got to repair this right here. We'll get that taken care of, and we'll get to measuring and start cutting on that. Okay, we have went from this nice, smooth looking cell panel to grinding it down like this to exposing the factory seam. How many out there knew that the factory seam was covered in lead like that? And it was like that on most cars, especially the older ones. I believe in the early 80s, they quit using the leading and went to body putty to cover the seam. And now they just do it right across the top of the roof and put a little black trim strip on there. But that is where I'm going to split the roofs at. Then I want to cut on the inner side right behind it and just lay it on there. So I'm going to get this other side done and we'll see if we can't get something separated. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I am going to make some measurements here. I'm going to use a marker so I will know exactly where I measured at. Those are going to be hidden by the trim. .48 5/8. 48 5/8. Now then, if that cab does sag, which every part of my being says it will not, I will have a measurement on both sides saying exactly where I measure to. .48 5/8. All right. And now then, I'm going to do some measurements. Back glass opening. I'll do it right here. Let's see. Let's go point to point here. Right underneath this trim dot. $12 1/4. 12 1/4. And I can go back and reference the top. If I forget. So we're doing here and here. 1/4. 12 1/4. All right, let's measure windshield. Okay, now, where would be a good mark here? Let's just measure this right here to this point right here. $30 inches. Inches. Okay. So with those marks, everything should be squared up when I put the new top on. And I've had many say that I need to weld me in supports. I want you to look at the bracing inside this roof. There is not much at all. There is hardly no bracing. This is a full frame car. It does not need supporting. So we are going to see if we can get a little bit more done, and we'll be back with you in a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got the little pillars off here for the little wing windows, so I can get down here to this rust and see what I can do to repair it. Still haven't quite decided how I'm going to cut across here to cut the roof. I may come a little bit forward and cut this section out and take it off of the other roof, but as you saw, we have a dent right here where that section comes up. So I may have to cut some pieces there. And I'm having a problem with my welder. A little Hobart, I've had it for years. I've taken it in to have repaired twice now. Paid almost what I paid for it new to get it repaired, and it's doing it again. So it may be time for a new welder. But I got my measurements done, so we know our opening sizes. Still have to figure out exactly where I'm going to come through on this framework here to get all this done. But we have got some, we're going to have to get down in there and figure out exactly where I want to cut that. But it's getting close. We're getting ready to put a top on. So, hope you liked this video. If you did, hit like. If you didn't like it, hit unlike. But subscribe. Follow me on this thing. Let's see how this thing comes out. Next Sunday's video, I'm probably going to take a break off of the El Caballero and do something with my Mustang. I haven't messed with it in a couple of weeks, and I think I need a break from cutting on metal. So we'll see you next time on Santa's Workshop.